The failures of the DC Housing Authority to provide decent, safe, and secure housing for many district residents are disturbing and widespread. The decade-long waiting list and worst in the country vacancy rates underscore these failures. And we know these problems have existed for many years. We continue to hear about them by our residents, folks on the waiting list, and by housing advocates. I'll never forget a conversation I had with a resident of one of our public housing facilities who shared with me the deplorable conditions of his unit, the mold, the rats. But worse, perhaps not worse to him, but depleting for me, was to hear him talk about how he believed nobody cared, that nothing would change, even if he reported it, would make any difference. And even if it did make a difference in his one case, numerous other problems would persist for him and his neighbors. The recent HUD report served not only to confirm these issues, but to provide a detailed outline of the depth and breadth of these challenges that we face in our attempts to address these failures. We need broad, long-term reforms to ensure that current residents are healthy and safe in their homes, and to expeditiously house eligible residents on our waiting list and enhance council oversight. I'm very hopeful that through a lot of these conversations that all of us on the council and the mayor and the attorney general seem to be on the same page that change is necessary. This is a good thing. A desire to do something is a good thing. But we need to make sure that what we are doing will enable the type of change and long-term improvement that we actually need. And I'm very committed to not just voting no on this today and turning the other way. We will work on this next council period to reform the DC Housing Authority and ensure that we are enabling it to succeed. The Housing Authority needs structural reforms to improve these outcomes for habitability, for fairness and transparency in contracting and development decisions, and efficacy of operations to make more units available for our waitlist applications. Some of our colleagues feel uneasy about today's vote. There is a reason that we all feel this urge to make changes. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, trying to make improvements around the edges to make this reform on emergency is not right. It's nothing against these public servants who are willing to commit their time and their talents to this board, and I understand the concern about voting no today without another solution today. And I've heard colleagues talk about demonstrating forward motion and collaboration. We will continue to do this. We do not have to settle for a proposal that is before us today. Mr. Chairman, may I have 30 more seconds?
Without objection.
We can deliver what our residents deserve through consideration of the permanent legislation that my colleague, Councilmember Silverman, and I introduced just last week. We can and we should move on that bill with urgency at the beginning of the new council period and provide comprehensive reforms that will truly allow us to turn around our housing authority through a transparent and public process, not just to make it public for a stamp of approval, to make it better by public collaboration. So I urge my colleagues to join me in voting no today. A no vote says we know we can do better. A no vote says to our residents and our constituents that we're making a sustained and deliberate commitment to deliver the kinds of broad, substantive reforms we need, that we will do it in a thorough, comprehensive way with the voices of all people who live in public housing and who do the work of advocating for current and eligible residents. So let's vote no today so we can say yes to comprehensive reform in the new year.